Hi, I'm Joan Newcomb, and today's morning musings is how to stay sane in a crazy ass world. I'm doing a series of daily morning musings, and I'm using posts from my blog, Adventures in Density and Effort, as inspiration. Now, I wrote these 10 years ago. The world has completely transformed since then, although it sounds like some things have stayed the same. If I encounter anything that is out of date, I will correct myself and give you the most recent information. At the end, I will summarize the topic based on what's going on in the world today. Also, I have some special offers, so stay tuned to the very end to see what they are. How to stay sane in a crazy ass world. We're getting to the end of another Mercury retrograde period, but challenges still abound. Across the US, laws are being enacted to severely limit women's rights over their own body. In the court, murderers are going free while victims are going to jail. Several people I know are facing severe health problems, and several more have had loved ones die. Here are some suggestions I have for maintaining your sanity amidst the insanity going on in the world. I'm so curious because I don't read these before I record. Don't react dramatically, even if things seem dramatic. The media works hard to make news entertaining. However, we can make things worse in our own heads by spinning stressful stories about what's happening. Often, the more dramatic something is, the less real or true it is. Ain't that the case? Nothing has to be responded to right away. Unless you're veering into ongoing traffic, most problems can wait 24 hours before taking any action. This gives you time to think, reflect, and step back from any emotionalism. The bigger the problem, the more research required for a solution. Someone else's problem, you didn't cause it, you can't cure it, but you can contribute to it. If you have a problem, you inherently have the resources to resolve it, and so does everyone else. You can go crazy taking on other people's issues. Letting them solve their own problems validates their creativity and gives you space to handle your own stuff. Sometimes you're contributing to a problem by enabling them. Sometimes the best contribution is let them handle it themselves and keep the focus on yourself. Reasons versus excuses. Figuring out the reason that you're doing or not doing something gives you clarity so you can take action. Excuses are what you use to continue doing or not doing something to stay stuck. Compartmentalize it. I read this recently as advice for moving forward through grief. It's actually a great technique for coping when things get overwhelming. Break down all that's going on and just deal with one section at a time. So your pet died, your partner left, your job made you redundant. You just want to implode. You can't handle everything at once, but you can take it one day at a time, one moment at a time, and do the next indicated thing. It's an event, not a crisis. This goes back to not reacting dramatically to something, even if it seems dramatic. Don't create a crisis where there isn't one, although don't underreact by not doing anything when there is one. Sometimes the best way to get through a stressful situation is to reframe it in our heads and tell a different story about it. This isn't a crisis. This is an event. This may seem like a tragedy, but it's really a comedy. This is different than being in denial about a problem. It's acknowledging it and then being bigger than the story about it. Breakdown, breakthrough, breaking open. Life is a never-ending spiritual remodeling project. We are constantly expanding. We just forget that we asked for it. And then we wonder why we're dealing with sheetrock dust and unruly contractors. We outgrow our old lives and our old selves. And so our circumstances, relationships, or belief systems start to break down. In reality, we are growing into a new space. Rather than hunkering down against the onslaught, imagining opening up to something bigger and better. It's not breaking down, but breaking through and breaking open into new possibilities. Asking and receiving help. So many times we ask for help and then close ourselves off from receiving it. Let people help you. For the next 7 days, try any of these, or all of them, or some of them, and see what happens. And if you do, leave me a comment below because I love to read your comments. So I think that's really interesting that I wrote this 10 and a half years ago now. So many things are still going on in the news. All of these techniques and suggestions are really apropos. So I really invite you to try some because it might really help you navigate life from this new expanded perspective. And if you like these videos, please share them with your family and friends and social media. And also click the like button and subscribe. And that way you're telling YouTube to distribute this far and wide and get this out to someone who really needs to see it. And if you want a free sample of one of my consciousness techniques, Click the link below to the skybox technique. It'll give you an expanded perspective of life and can be another way of helping you navigate it. If you'd like some manifestation techniques, I have a self-study course, Manifesting Money and Miracles, where you learn how to shift vibrations within that creates a complete transformation in your external world. If you want to know more, my website is joan-newcomb.com. There you can find out about my individual sessions where I look at you as consciousness and what's going on in your life today, and I can answer any questions that you might have. And it's all recorded just for you. And if you want to learn how to do this for yourself, Manifesting Money and Miracles is a great preparation for my coaching special where I work with you one-on-one and I give you specially chosen consciousness techniques that I've created so that you can transform your life. So go to my website, joan-newcomb.com, and I'll see you tomorrow in another Morning Musings.